2D, Mrs. Norfolk. The days slowed back down at the Cove now that the girls were off at Og Manor. Losing Mrs. Gallons was a hit to the town. It was a shock to arrive and see that a child had already been birthed. It was an even more serious shock to hear that the child, Alastair, the mistress said, had been spirited away by the mistress of night herself, the goddess Tenebra. With all that is going on with the Gallons girls, I just couldn't bring myself to burden them with the information about their brother and the twins' destiny as prodigies. What did that mean for the twins? What kind of life would they lead? Would the god Tinnitus be coming for baby Cadence soon? How could I break this to the girls when I could not even find strength or answers in the questions myself? Mistress Gallons had pleaded with me to get her son back as she lay dying on the floor. But how does one retrieve a baby from a goddess? I sat there counting the till and listening to the bustle of camaraderie occurring downstairs, mulling over the same questions that haunted me since the death of Mrs. Gallons. What a tragedy that poor family had undertaken, having already lost their father, and now this. I contemplated taking the girls in, but taking in 3 more mouths to feed and a baby to tend to while running Siren Cove just wasn't possible. It was fortunate that the grandfather would take them in, even as he was. Fenton would be glad to see Paisley back at school soon. I would need to make up some herb remedies to pass off for Lyra's infirmaries. I can't even fathom the stress the girls are under after having lost another parent, gained a sister, and moved in with an estranged relative, whom I've heard is quite the stick in the mud. And Lyra having been in the thick of it all, and the presence of the goddess. I'm surprised she survived the ordeal without serious injury to the mind and body. That's it, I stated to myself, and set aside the day's coin. I'll just drop off the herbs myself and talk to Mr. Og about the child Alastair. He can decide where we go from there.